我今年39了，我说完我的要求以后啊，就没有人给我介绍对象了。
I'm 39 this year, and ever since I listed out my criteria, no one has introduced me to a single guy. I really don't get it. Are my standards really that high? So what are your requirements? First, the man must have a house and a car, fully paid off, no loans. Second, the bride price must be no less than $4,150 USD. Third, after marriage, his parents cannot live with us, but I will bring my parents to live with us. Fourth, the man must hand over his salary every month to cover household expenses. Fifth, he must be under 40. I don't like older men. And to that, this so-called little fairy gets a reality check. Girl, you're already 39, still out here dreaming. Why should anyone pay $4,000 just to marry you? A younger, prettier girl? Isn't she the obvious choice? If you're spending that kind of money who wouldn't go for better value, you're past the prime childbearing age, yet your demands are still sky high. What exactly is a man getting out of marrying you? It's time you had some self-awareness. If you still want to get married, maybe it's time to drop the attitude and the requirements. But if a man doesn't meet these standards, he's not even a real man to me. Well, then I'm telling you now, there's no way I'm lowering my standards.
1个2个就带回这么多。
And just like that, I'm back with a herd on this vast grassland. I'm home again, and the road back home is always my favorite. No matter how dusty the journey, there's always a place to return to. Coming back to the prairie, that's real happiness. The moment I left on my first day, I got a fever, caught a cold, and needed an injection. Then I realized staying in a hotel costs money. Eating costs money. Drinking costs money. Even water costs money. So I came to a conclusion. I'm best suited to herding cattle alone. No need to look at anyone's face. No need to listen to anyone's nonsense. If you're tired of city life, if you've been wronged or worn down, come find me here on the prairie. I'll stand up for you. All the cows and grasslands you see, they're mine. Come and experience the joy of herding. Herding cattle, it's truly the most healing job in the world. So many people have commented saying they want to visit me. In the days ahead, I'm going to use the money I have to fix up the ranch, get it ready to welcome you. You who's been watching me through the screen. Come on, let's herd cows together. Let's drink, eat meat, and enjoy life. No more talking. My cows are running away again.
现在女生择偶标准啊，硬是磨盘得很。你看嘛。
Nowadays, girls' standards are just wildly unrealistic. Look, even average-looking girls demand that a guy be at least 175 centimeters tall, look like Wang Yibo, and make at least $21,000 a year, and that's considered the bare minimum. He must already own a house and a car, and his parents should preferably have a pension. Even then, she'll still say, sorry, we're not a good match. Now for the pretty girls. They want a man 20 years older. But as long as you can take care of the kids, it's fine. What really matters? Your bank balance. If your account is long enough, then you're her dominant CEO dream. A monthly income of $14,000 USD is the new normal. And unless you've got at least $1.4 million USD, you're not even in the game. Looks, not important. You can look like Pigsy from Journey to the West. As long as you're driving a Porsche, you're good to go. But hey, brothers, don't stress. They're probably never going to find these kinds of men. These soft girls are out here using K-drama standards, while the pretty ones are basically aiming for a mix of finance and romance. One is looking for a Prince Charming. The other is looking for an ATM machine. And in the end, after all that picking and choosing, they might just end up left behind. That's when reality hits. And they'll have to lower their standards whether they like it or not. If you ask me, when it comes to dating, everyone should just keep it real. If you only focus on the conditions and not the person, you'll be the one losing out in the end. Really. Just a passerby. Brothers, remember this. Only prostitutes talk about being used for free. First, let's listen to what this self-proclaimed queen of gold diggers has to say. You don't need to tell me whether you like me or not. How much money you spend on me, that's the proof of your feelings. Any I love you or I like you without money is just empty talk. So let me make it clear. Those who are willing to pay are the only ones worth paying attention to. Right now, the internet is full of these so-called gold digger queens, all preaching the same thing, telling women not to be used for free, meaning if there's no payment, there's no deal. These gold digger queens all have one thing in common. They most likely come from nightlife or escort backgrounds, and their main audience, mostly other women working in nightclubs or similar environments. Sure, if she's talking to people from that same world, then fine, no issue. But when this kind of mindset gets spread around widely, It ends up lowering the moral standards of women across society. A lot of young girls who haven't seen the world, who are still naive, end up listening to this kind of rhetoric and think they've discovered some sort of deep truth. Then they start shouting about so-called female awakening. But have you ever stopped to think, if you're out here studying the philosophy of prostitutes, what kind of person do you think you'll become in the end? Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers across the world is a huge source of inspiration for us.
肖恩俊收入全部上交，最后呢离婚净身出户。
Xiao Wenjun handed over all his income. In the end, divorced and left with nothing. This is the outcome when a man gives up full financial control. He walked away from assets worth over tens of millions of USD just to fight for custody of his daughter. And in the end, he didn't even get to see her face. He had to rely on help from netizens before he finally got what he wanted. Now ask yourself, are you more handsome than Xiao Enjin? Can you earn more money than him? Human nature cannot withstand temptation. Don't gamble your future on someone else's morality because you can't afford to lose.
你们知道为什么女人这么穷吗？
Because they have to buy shampoo, body wash, face cleanser, makeup remover oil, makeup remover cream, mascara, eyebrow pencil, blush, lipstick, lip gloss, brow dye foundation, BB cream, CC cream, primer eye cream, sunscreen, eyeshadow, perfume, double eyelid tape, nail polish, false eyelashes, face masks, face cream. And that's not all. They still have to buy shoulder bags, backpacks, handbag, clothes, pants, t-shirts, blouses, skirts, dresses, pencil skirts, tight ones, loose ones, comfy ones, casual, sporty, ladylike countryside style, mature and classy or even cutesy Lolita style. And of course they still need to buy high heels, mid-heels, flats, sneakers, casual shoes, tall boots, ankle boots, long socks, short socks, stockings. LOL. You tell me, how could they possibly have any money left? They're basically broke in a very stable way.
男人的魅力不是有钱，而是人品端正。女人的魅力不是外表。
A man's true charm isn't in how much money he has, but in having good character. A woman's true beauty isn't in her appearance, but in her kindness and compassion. So whether you're a man or a woman, always remember, choose friends based on character. Love someone based on their heart. A man with integrity is worth trusting. A kind-hearted woman is worth cherishing.
岁数大了之后，经常有人问我，
Now that I'm older, people often ask me, "You're already 30. Why aren't you married yet?" All you do is run. But based on how things work in our country, if marriage were really such a great thing, you'd probably need connections and bribes just to get in.
一些愿意接受低彩礼的外国女性进入了中国的婚恋市场，引发了不少网友的热议。
Some foreign women who are willing to accept low bride prices have entered China's marriage and dating market, sparking widespread discussion online. As international marriages become more common, foreign daughters-in-law have become a hot topic, but also a target of criticism. Many of these foreign women don't ask for bride prices, nor do they demand that the man owns a house or car. To some people, this is seen as disrupting the rules of China's traditional matchmaking market. There have even been cases where Russian women were maliciously insulted online simply because they didn't ask for a bride price. However, many male netizens argue that foreign women, especially those from Southeast Asia, are hardworking, have low material desires, and are better suited for family life. For young rural men in China, the cost of getting married, including the bride price, house, and car, can drain the entire family's savings. So marrying a foreign woman is often seen as a last resort. Others, though, hold a different view. They argue that cross-border marriages come with language and cultural barriers, which can lead to family conflicts after marriage. They believe men shouldn't just focus on the cost of marriage, but also on compatibility and mutual understanding. As a result, debates continue. But one thing is clear, marrying foreign women is becoming increasingly common in China. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me.
你知道吗？中国其实已经进入女光棍危机时代了。
Did you know? China has actually entered a female bachelor crisis era. Shocking, right? Some people say, aren't there over 30 million more men than women in China? How can there be more single women? But think about it carefully. China's single population has already surpassed 200 million. Among them, over 100 million women are being overhyped and ultimately crushed by consumer culture. Add to that the rise of international marriages, where many foreign women are willing to marry Chinese men, asking for no house, no car, no bride price. Naturally, some Chinese men turn to them. So on the surface, the gender ratio might seem balanced, but in reality, it's becoming increasingly unfriendly to older women. Besides, let's face it, Chinese women have some of the highest social status globally, but that also means intense competition. And once you miss the prime marriage age, you're competing with a new generation of younger women, and your dating market value will drop. So be realistic. Age is a hard fact. Stop thinking you still have all the time in the world.
其实厦门中山公园相亲角挂的那些资料哈，
At the matchmaking corner in Zhongshan Park, Xiamen, you'll see rows and rows of profiles posted every day. A huge variety, all kinds of people. But at the end of the day, let's be real. What are men looking for in women? Two things: your gentleness and your body. If you don't have either, he's not going to marry someone who acts like his ancestor, right? And what are women looking for in men? Also two things: emotional value and financial value. If you can't provide either, then why would she marry someone who acts like her grandpa? So in the end, all this talk of love and romance, it's just cooperation.
没娶啊，宁可不娶。有钱那你就娶一个35岁以下的，能给你生个娃。
If you're broke, it's better not to marry at all. But if you're rich, then marry a woman under 35 who can give you a child. At least when you die, your assets can go to someone who's worth it. But a divorced woman over 40, that's like a bird that's been caged for over 4 years. Stubborn and hard to handle. She's past her prime, can't breastfeed, doesn't even have her period anymore, and yet she's still trying to negotiate. She wants to use you as a bargaining chip to chase the personal dreams she failed to get with her ex-husband. She'll try to claim the wealth she missed out on with her previous man, dump all her bitterness and resentment on you, and then what? Once she's squeezed everything out of you, your savings, your assets, she'll vanish. And you'll be left with nothing but regret, both emotionally and financially. Just another fool who got played. Got it.
我90年的，我结了婚都有很多主动舔的人。
I was born in 1990. Even though I'm already married, there are still plenty of men who chase after me. Some guys at work even buy me breakfast every day. Honestly, age isn't the most important thing. It's all about whether you think you're still glowing with charm, whether you believe men are still lining up to win your favor. Even women who are 35 or 36 married with kid can still seem more desirable than younger girls. A bunch of men circling around you. You feel powerful, right? Then you start showing off. Probably even begin to resent your husband, thinking he's not good enough for you anymore. You argue with him full of confidence. Treat me poorly. There are plenty of men out there who treat me better. Deep down, you regret getting married too early. You feel like you still have the right to choose. But let's be clear. Being good enough to marry and being fun to mess around with, they are not the same. If you're still unmarried at this age, will men still surround you like they do now? What kind of man would chase after you at this stage? Only the ones who don't want to take responsibility. Because with you, they don't need to commit. They don't have to spend much. You're experienced, understanding, and require little effort. But if they date an unmarried girl, they'd have to be serious. Buy a house, a car, pay the bride price. With you, all of that is waived. Buy you breakfast and you're flattered. But when they've had enough fun and want to break it off, you can't do anything. You've got a family. You're afraid of being exposed. They'll just walk away without a second thought. And you're left with a broken family and a mess to clean up. So be honest with yourself. Live your life quietly with integrity. Stop trying to attract attention. Why do those men keep circling around you, bringing you breakfast and all? Because you don't say no. You allow it. Reject them even once. Show where you stand. And those men won't dare come near you again.
现在好多女人呀，作着作着就把家给作没了。但是她呢？
These days, so many women ruin their marriages through constant drama. And even after walking out of the Civil Affairs Bureau with divorce papers in hand, they still think they did nothing wrong. Today, let me speak up on behalf of the men for once. Some women, seriously, your husband doesn't gamble, doesn't cheat, doesn't abuse you. He's not out messing around. And every cent he earns, he brings home. You never lack food or clothes. Life is stable and secure. And yet you just have to stir things up. One moment, it's he doesn't care about me. The next, it's he's useless and can't make big money. You take what could have been a warm, peaceful home and turn it into a battlefield. What's worse, you lean on the fact that your man is honest and doesn't fight back. So you dig in your heels and insist you're never wrong. Aren't you even a little ashamed? To outsiders, you act so gentle, kind, and understanding. But behind closed doors, you're cold, sarcastic, moody. Whatever he does, you're never satisfied. This is all you can do? You're so useless. That's how you talk to him. Have you forgotten who works hard every day to support this family? who tolerates your moods day in, day out. Another woman would be grateful to have a husband like that. But you? You treat strangers like treasures, and your own husband like garbage. When he finally gets tired of it all and stops putting up with you, you'll be the one crying. Every day you go on about how much you've sacrificed for the family. But do you not see his sacrifices? He leaves early, comes home late, working hard just to provide. At night, he still helps with chores with the kids, and you ignore all of that. But the moment he finally sits down to rest, you label him lazy and start a fight. Then some random guy from outside says a few sweet words, and suddenly you're touched beyond reason, thinking he understands you more than your own husband. Should I call you foolish or heartless? That guy, he says a few words just to get something from you, and you fall for it. Meanwhile, your husband gave you everything, nearly his life, and you treat it like it's nothing, as if he's supposed to do it all for you no matter what. Why? Why should he give you everything unconditionally? What have you done for him? Listen carefully. No one is born owing you anything. If he loves you, he chooses to give. But if you take that for granted, if you deny his value and constantly belittle him, I'm telling you, a man's heart is made of flesh too. Once it turns cold, no matter how hard you try to warm it again, it's too late. And by the time you want to go back, he'll be long gone. No one's going to wait around forever. Got it? Let's face the reality. China is entering an unprecedented social era, where love, marriage, and even the label of modern woman are being swept away by the tide of materialism. Life in China today looks like this. Dating has become a casting call. Marriage has turned into a contract, and sincerity is buried beneath a mountain of unreasonable expectations. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs, only 181 million couples registered for marriage in Q1 2025, the lowest figure in the past 10 years, a nearly 50% drop compared to 2013. The number of single people has already surpassed 300 million. And worse, people are no longer afraid of being single. They've simply stopped believing in marriage. So what do you think? Are modern women truly awakening? Or are we witnessing a collective illusion? Are men avoiding responsibility? Or are they just too exhausted from carrying the weight for too long? Have we lost something fundamental? Gratitude, respect, and unconditional love. Leave a comment below. We want to know, do you still believe in marriage? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who feels lost in love today. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next episode of Life in China.